Do your research. Charlotte Hornets, New Jersey Nets. He was dunking on niggas. Real talk, and he was locking people up. Two-way player. You feel me? He holds the record for the most steals in an NBA game. Put some respect on this man. Put some respect on him. You feel me? For real. Yo,
Thank you,
Kendall,
brother.
I know
Thank
you
you.
a big time. I know you a big time boxing fan. I want to talk to you about Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. Because there's a lot
Yeah.
of talking about this fight. We in a whole new year, 2021. The fight shouldn't be made. It should be made. Terrence Crawford, pound for pound, number one, undisputed, three division, world champion, undefeated. He wants Earl Spence Jr. Earl Spence got some explaining to do. 60-40. Do you feel like that's a fair offer? I don't think so, because Terrence Crawford is pound for pound number one, the best fighter in the world. 50-50, it's a good fight.
I think it's a great fight, but the 50-50 won't happen because Errol is pulling in more pay-per-view guys than Terrence. And when it comes down to it, is business first, and that's where Errol's perspective is coming from. And he's right. It's business first. He has to get the lion's share. He is the A side, but just like Floyd with Oscar De La Hoya took.
Mm.
He said, "Okay, I'll be B side, and when I beat you, then I become the A side. If we have a rematch, then you have to take 60
Right.
40. It's just the way that they do things in boxing. Now, talent wise, I think both of them are great fighters, man. You can't argue with Terrence, his talent, but I think that Errol, especially coming off of that horrific car accident that he did, and the way that he fought Danny Garcia, who is a future Hall of Famer. I think I I don't know whether I think I'm gonna roll with Errol. I know a lot of people say, well, no, but still, I still think even though Terrence um, knocked out my man from England,
Kell Brook.
uh, his last fight,
Kell
Kell Brook.
Brook.
Kell Brook, he knocked out Kell Brook, but Kell Brook wasn't the same. I mean, Triple G took him apart, Errol took him apart. He wasn't the same. I have to see Terrence Crawford fight a top flight welterweight first before I believe it. I know they got him high on the pound for pound list and everything like that, but I want to see him beat a Danny Garcia, a Sean Porter, Errol Spence before I give him that. And like I said, I ain't taking nothing away from his talent, but he still got to be the top level fighter in the welterweight division. Now, if he and Errol should meet, the one thing that Terrence won't have is that left-handed advantage. You know how he starts off right-handed and goes southpaw? He confuses a lot of fighters with that, but he won't be able to do that to Errol Spence because Errol Spence is southpaw himself.
Right. Right.
And I just think eventually that Terrence being a smaller man naturally, that Errol's just gonna walk him down. And who knows? He may fight him like he fought Mikey Garcia, try to outpoint him. I don't think I think that would be the wrong fight for him to fight him like he did Mikey Garcia though, because I think Terrence Crawford could probably outpoint him. I think he got to go try and get him like he did Kell Brook, or like he fought Sean Porter, or like he fights most of his fights. But like I said, man, it's a great fight. It's a 50-50 fight, but if I had to put money on it, I'm gonna roll with Errol.
For sure. I respect it. Everybody got their opinion. But when we talk about the A side,
Yeah.
that sound like Canelo talking. Earl Spence doing that Canelo Teofimo Lopez talk. You feel me? I think Terrence Crawford just want that smoke. He showed up at his last fight. He wanted to hop in the ring, and I heard Spence blocked him from
Yeah.
getting in that ring. Call security on him. You know how that A side go when you turn to a businessman. You feel me? Crawford just want to fight. He's like a throwback type of guy. 3 divisions. Floyd Mayweather said Terrence Crawford was the best, and he's an animal. 8 straight knockouts. I mean, all welterweights. You talk about what he did in the welterweight division. He won a world title. He knocked out everybody they put in front of him. He did what he was supposed to do. So, Danny Garcia he never beat anybody at welterweight. Danny never did nothing at welterweight. Now we talk about Mikey Garcia, who was a featherweight. He never had a fight in the welterweight division. That's Earl Spence, 2 of his last 3 opponents. And he fought Sean Porter. We all know what happened in that fight. Sean Porter was on that ass. You know what I mean? I think Crawford is the best welterweight in the world. Beats everybody. Knocks them all out. Crawford, you know what I mean? A great father, a great champion in and out the ring. You know, a role model for the young fighters like Devin Haney. You know, honestly, you know, he lives the life of a true boxer. I think that's why he's going to win the fight because he's dedicated. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about in boxing. You know, so let's talk about the NBA real quick. Luka Doncic, he's been dominating. He got another triple-double. Last time I talked to you, I told you I got Luka Doncic winning the MVP. What about you?
You winning the MVP this season?
Yes, sir.
Well, he certainly got a good start. I mean, we still early in the season, but you know, they put the basketball in Luka's hands and let him go to work. You know, and you know, each and every night, you know, he's coming up with like triple doubles, like you said. The only thing is that his team is going to have to win some significant games. You know, they can't because they actually lost to us, the Bulls, the other night, and Luka didn't play that game. But in order for him to win the MVP, he's got to have a lot of wins as well as play a Luka Doncic type game each and every night. Now, if Porzingis comes back and he's able to help Luka because he's going to need some help. He can't do it by himself. But that record, he needs to be, if he's going to win the MVP, he's got to be top 3 in the Western Conference. His team does with the numbers that he has. But I'm in agreement with you. I mean, I'll put him right there in the MVP talk.
For sure. So, what you think about the rookie?
Now, let me ask you.
Go ahead, Kendall.
I said, I was gonna go back to boxing.
Okay.
I want to know who you think Ryan should fight next.
Ryan Garcia. He should fight Devin Haney because he is the mandatory. He should fight Devin Haney for the WBC world title. They both on the same network. It's a great fight. Devin Haney considered to be the next Floyd Mayweather. Ryan Garcia, he reminds me of Oscar De La Hoya. I think that's a big money fight right there. But I mean, what about you?
I like Gervonta.
You like Tank?
I want to fight Gervonta Davis. Yeah, but you know, it's gonna be if Gervonta hit him like Luke Campbell hit him, I think it's over. You know, so we'll see. But I mean, I like the Devin Haney fight. I mean, you're right about the mandatory and everything. That's probably gonna happen first because they probably don't want him to fight Gervonta right away. You know,
okay.
Probably let the young bucks duke it out and then go to Gervonta.
Yeah, I like Tank. I like all of the fighters. You know, it's a lot of great champions. Not to take anything away from any fighter, but you know, Mayweather was the best. I'm always looking for the next Mayweather. When I look for that, I see Devin Haney. Right. A great defense, great footwork. And Fred agrees with me. Fred does great work with Bill Haney, Devin Haney. These are some great fighters. You know, what you think about Devin Haney?
No, I agree with you. I think Devin has all the skills and everything, and he won't be like if he fights Ryan, he's not gonna be there to be hit like his last opponent was, Luke Campbell. You know, Luke Campbell is basically, you know, standing straight up and no head movement, none of that. You know, but Devin Haney has all of it, so I totally agree with you. I think it's a great fight, and actually, I have Devin winning that fight if I had to pick somebody because of the skill levels that he possessed.
Yes, you got that right. You know, what you think about Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis?
Get to the next call.
I think as long as Devin can stay away from that left hand, then you know, then it's possible that he can win the fight. But the thing is Tank, he has the equalizer. You know, just like Deontay Wilder, everything can get you out of there with one punch. You know, but you know, there's been a lot of fighters in there with Floyd that could knock you out with one punch. They couldn't touch him. I think the same thing with Devin Haney too.
For sure, man. I appreciate it. But when you talk about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, remember Terrence Crawford has more accomplishments, and he's number one pound for pound. It's a 50-50 fight. You know, let's make it happen in 2021. No more ducking.
I got you.
Appreciate you, man. 312 been patiently